Dinky Dana here. Today I'm going to be doing a review for the game Shadow of the Colossus on PlayStation 2. This game was released in 2005 and was designed by Fumito Ueda, who also created the game Ico. Even though Shadow of the Colossus was released after Ico, it's known as the prequel and shares the same world. If you want to know a little bit more about the game Ico, I've already done a review for that, so check my channel and you can watch that one. You don't really have to play Ico before you play this one, but I'd recommend it. Shadow of the Colossus begins when your character named Wander arrives at a place called the Forbidden Land. You soon find out that the reason that Wander has come to this Forbidden Land is to revive the woman that he loves. As he reveals the woman he loves, a few shadow creatures appear, and he unsheathes his sword, and a beam of light vanquishes these creatures. Soon after, he hears the voice of an entity called Dorman, and Dorman presents him with a proposal that if he can slay 16 Colossi, his love will be revived. So Wander sets out on his quest to slay these 16 Colossi. So as you begin, you set out into this forbidden land, and the environment is really beautiful and it's really large. It'll probably take 5 to 10 minutes to travel from one side to the other. As you set out, you don't really know exactly where you're going, and what you have to do is press the circle button, and it'll raise your sword up into the air. And as you begin to raise your sword up, you'll see that it produces a beam of light. This beam of light will act as your guide to help you find the Colossus that you're supposed to slay. As you aim your sword, if you're aimed at a direction that's far away from the Colossus, the light beam will be dispersed. And as you get closer and closer to the direction towards the Colossus, it'll become a real focused beam. Traveling isn't the biggest part of this game. I'd say it's probably 10%, and the rest of the game is just fighting all of the Colossi. One thing that I really enjoyed about traveling in this world is that everything is really desolate. It gives you the feeling that you're really on a lonely quest to try and revive your love. You'll rarely encounter any other creatures other than yourself, your horse, and the Colossi. Occasionally there will be a bird flying around, but it has a really desolate feeling. Once I finally found a Colossi, I was amazed at the size and just massive scale of these creatures. Each time you encounter a Colossus, you have to first determine where its weak points are. And you do this the same way as whenever you were traveling. You'll hold up your sword, and where the beam focuses, that's where the weak spot is located. And these Colossi range in size and shape, and each one is truly unique. Every one is different, and you have to determine, almost like a puzzle, what you have to do in order to defeat them. When I first encountered these Colossi, I really had no idea how I was going to be able to defeat them. And after I played for a little bit, I realized that you're able to climb all over their bodies. So whether it be hair or some other type of item that you can grip onto, you can climb all over their bodies, and you have to climb your way up and find their weak points, and then you stab them. And these Colossi really are like big puzzles. This is pretty much an action-adventure game, but it's also a puzzle game. And whenever you first look at it, it doesn't seem like it, but you'll have to figure out the puzzles in order to determine how you have to defeat the Colossus. For example, this Colossus that I'm fighting right now, I couldn't figure out how to get a hold of any part of his body to be able to climb up onto him. And I ended up having to run under this little cove, and after a while he would be smashing things, and once he realized where I was, he would duck down to look in at me. And what I had to do is I had to run out and grab onto his beard. So if you didn't know to run into this cove, he would never bend down, and you wouldn't be able to get a hold of anything on his body to climb on. I wasn't really expecting Shadow of the Colossus to be a puzzle game, but it added a really nice element, and it really made you think and prepare a strategy as to how you're going to defeat the Colossi. I can't really think of many other games that have such epic boss battles as Shadow of the Colossus. Each of these creatures is really unique, and almost all of them are massive. There are some smaller ones that require different strategy as to how to defeat them, but all of these creatures are completely epic, and everything about them just seems almost mystical and majestic. As I was defeating all of these colossi, I almost felt bad for slaying them. It seemed almost like I was killing these majestic creatures that have been roaming this land untouched for thousands of years. And it really kind of made you feel bad for slaying them, and it really added a unique feeling to the game. Another great thing about this game is its soundtrack. All of the music is absolutely incredible. It's definitely one of the best soundtracks on the PlayStation 2, and whenever you were fighting the Colossi, it really made things exciting. Another thing I'd like to mention is how this game used lack of music to enhance the experience that you have while you're playing. I mentioned earlier that as you play through this game, you'll rarely encounter any other forms of life other than the Colossi. This kind of gave the game a desolate and almost lonely feeling, and the lack of music also enhanced that feeling. So even though the soundtrack for this game is absolutely incredible, they did an excellent job of choosing when to play what music and also when to play no music at all. Shadow of the Colossus is possibly my favorite PlayStation 2 game, and it's definitely one of my favorite games of all time. So I strongly encourage everyone to go out and buy this game. I don't think anyone will be disappointed in it. And everything about this game is just epic. It's just boss battle after boss battle, and the whole game all around is just beautiful. So of course I'm going to give Shadow of the Colossus a score of 10 out of 10. I'm Dinky Dana, and if you like this review, definitely check out my channel and please subscribe for future videos. Thanks for watching.